at the eve of Mother's Day, reflecting on motherhood. And I'm grateful, for being a mom, like has been for some years now. And, I've gone through a lot, bringing up kids. And thank you every time, tuning into my channel. My name is Dr. Debbie, your research coach. And because tomorrow is Mother's Day in America, I just reflect, on the art of motherhood today. And yeah, to talk about, how I feel about it, being a mom. And, motherhood is huge. It's a huge responsibility. It's a huge role, and it's a lifetime role. It's a lifetime responsibility. And if we think about that, the journey of motherhood starts, reflecting, counting on, becoming pregnant, getting through all those discomfort, the labor pains, bringing the children to the world, raising them, and getting to the time of teenage years, all other stages or phases of childhood, for raising kids, they are really tough, a lot of work to put in. But when it gets to teenage years, at times, situation or family dynamics can take another shape entirely, because it's tough, to bring teenage kids, because then the children, they are like between childhood and adulthood, and a child that have been calling you the love of their life, they have been listening to you, and of a sudden they have their own idea, they have their own opinion, because of peer pressure, influence of friends, influence of the society they are. And especially if we bring them, like I am, Nigerian American, if you bring your children, from other country, other continents, into the West, that's another story on its own. Even if you are those children, in the West, it's still a different game entirely, because your culture is different. The way you are brought up, your values, your ideas is completely different, from the society, from the community that those children are being raised, because they spend a little time, with you, and most of the time it's in the school that they spend with other people that they can tell them different world view, and it's really tough. And I tell you, I've gone through fire raising teenage children. It's really been tough, because when, like I said, when children are young, they can listen to you, you tell them this, you correct them, they accept it, in love, and then they promise you they won't repeat, that behavior, wrong behavior you've corrected. But when they become teenagers, it's really tough. And when I tell you, like a clinician, that I see children that I'm telling you that I've gone through fire, even with my own kids. It's no joke. But it's just for you to know the weight, of motherhood, that this is a lifetime role, and whatever work or the gravity, of how you perceive the weight of, training those kids is what will determine, how serious, how important you take it, that this is my life. Because of course the children are your life, because they share your genetic property. They are resemblance of you, even if they don't resemble you physically, but half of you is in them. So if your determination is for them to turn out well in life, that's, you'll be proud of them in future when they grow up, and they too will be proud of you and be proud of themselves and rise up to call you blessed. You need to put in the work. You need to rise up and put in the work. Yeah, so that you will not regret it in future. And many moms, later on in life, they've been regretting, whatever. There may be rules, there may be restrictions in whatever part of the world you are, but just know that this is your responsibility. Yeah, no one is coming to save you. No teacher, no government, no system is going to train your child for you. yeah, those children too, they are competing with whatever forces, pressure is around them. But because you are older than them, you are wiser than them, and it is your decision to bring those children. So you have to put in all what it takes. And I'm telling you from experience, it's just a phase. Those the turbulent phase is going to pass, because their brain is still developing. They like to do, oh, I can handle it. I can handle it. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I heard that phrase. Everyone, they are saying it. And, seeing children in my practice, teenagers, young adults, the parents, they are busy complaining even up to their children that maybe they are in college, they are doing their master degree and all that. They say, every time, I'm telling them this. And they continue to say, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I said, yes. Those are those are the attitude, those are the behavior. Until when they completely get stuck, everything is falling apart, that most of the time they admit, and at times they will never admit when they are in that phase, because we understand, in science, that their brain is developing. And for young adults, their brain continue to grow, and especially the prefrontal cortex that deal with decision making is the last part of the brain to develop. And the development of that part of the brain may not be completed until age 30. And so even when maybe they are married, around that time, 25, 26, 7 to 30, you are still their resource. You still continue to guide them. So just for you to know how much of work you need to put in as a mom. But afterwards, they are going to remember and they are going to ask for, they are going to ask you for forgiveness, or yes, or just take responsibility or say sorry, to how they have stressed you, how they have drained you during that time. During that time, it's just because of the situation around them and the dilemma they found themselves. But if you wait till the time when they will come to realization, things may be worse. So, and I'm just saying this to encourage all the wonderful moms. They are expected moms to be, moms that are waiting, moms that, are looking up to God. It's a phase that, every female should go through and, enjoy the blessing of being a mom. It is very challenging. I will not I will be plain to you. I will be sincere with you. It's very challenging. It's at times you may almost regret, why do I even have these children? But just know it is a phase. Yeah, and with your persistence, with patience, with prayer, with trust in God, and with your values. You need to have good values. And this family, yeah, this is what we stand for. Yeah, the family of, sincerity, genuineness, hard work, honesty, respect, reference, honor for God, for authority. You will surely win. And it's just few hours, to May 10 this year, tomorrow. That will be Mother's Day in America. And I use this opportunity to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are there. But just tomorrow, I'm going to continue the part 2 on the aspects, of still motherhood, because before the children comes, it starts from love, maybe love for your spouse, before the children ever come into play in an ideal home. And no matter what, no matter the fire, the turbulence you go through with these children, most of the time, people don't throw away their kids that, oh, I don't want to anymore because of this. And I'm just wondering, if the relationship starts with I love you, then why the giving up? Why ending in chaos, in crisis? If no matter what our kids do to us, yes, there will be disagreement because we have different opinions, different humans, different worldviews. We can disagree to agree. There could be conflict, but that conflict as a family unit, it should not be to scatter it. Should not be to, no matter what happens, you don't care, because it hurts those kids too, like divorce. When it ends in violence, in divorce, in injury, no, that is not the plan of God. That is not the purpose of God. Motherhood is sweet. And at the end of it, when you come to when you come to the stage, you know, when those kids come to realize that, oh, I didn't do well at this time, you know, they feel sorry, and they learn the lesson of life, that despite all the turbulence, the trouble, how I stress my parents, they never gave up on me. And you are going to hand over, you know, a very um, a very valuable principle to them, that in their own family too, you know, no matter what, they are going to stick, you know, to those precious value, that in this family we are going to be united, and we are going to, whatever the problem, whatever the challenges, we are going, as a family, we are going to face it and resolve it. So that is what I'm talking about today, that love will always win. Yeah, always, always, love will always win. You may be angry, you may be perplexed, you may be upset, but just remember the love you started with at any situation. Just, you know, with love, stand united with your spouse, with your children, as a family, and love will always love will always win the day. All right, thank you so much. You know, today is my fitness walk day, and on Saturday that I usually document, I just let me bring this conversation about the love in the family and about motherhood as we celebrate Mother's Day tomorrow in the United States. Thank you, and have a good one. Bye.